Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of Build Theory. My name is VKid Gamer, and today we're going to be looking at another modded character that is available on the R2Modman mod manager. Character this time will be the Sniper from Risk of Rain 1. As you can see here, Sniper is a long-range single-target DPS that incorporates elements of Assassin to stay alive. They excel at taking down bosses and high-priority targets, but struggle against larger groups of weak enemies. That being said, our build is going to be focused on one-hit kill on everything. See, here's some of our skills. You got your Full Metal Jacket, which is 1.0 damage per boost. Your snipe does 600 to 900% damage, but you need to reload every time after. Kind of like the Gears of War reload mechanic. In the third spot, you got your Steady Aim, which is where your boost multiplier comes into play. This one is 3 times boost and charges faster while you're stationary, but you are slower during it. That's actually not the one that we're going to be using for this build, but when we get into the loadout tab, you'll see. Your backflip does a stun and reload automatically. It deals 100% damage to nearby enemies. And your special is a decoy. It stealths you for 2.5 seconds, leaves behind a decoy, which is people will attack, and then you're free to move around. So you got our Full Metal Jacket, which is going to be our focus. It's where your normal damage multipliers come in. You also have an explosive round. It does less primary damage, but it does have a big explosion radius. Not what we're going to be using. Then you do have a burst 3-shot. It does less damage, but for me it's a little bit harder to control. Your primary is just snipe. They don't have anything else added in right now. Now the secondary, like I said, we're not going to use Steady Aim, we're going to use Quick Scope. It does a little bit less boost, but it gives you 4 charges of it, kind of like the mines on the Engineer. You got your decoy, you got your backflip, and you got a good amount of skins. As usual, we're going to do Rainstorm with the Artifact of Command just to lay it out, and we're going to jump into it. See, there's your reload bar that comes straight up. When you're dropping it automatically gives you a perfect reload. By perfect reload, you can see above my crosshair I have a green diamond. With the green diamond, that means you're going to do the maximum damage that you can. Ignore that. Every time you shoot, it's going to come up with the reload bar. You want to get it in that first brighter gray area to get your perfect reload. If you get it in the area after, it's a yellow. Anything else is red. As you can see by the shots, they do ricochet off of the environment, so if you are good enough to angle things, you will kill multiple targets with one shot. So we're going to be looking around for a couple different items, and you can see me here using the Quick Scope. It gives you a nice multiplier to your damage, which is fantastic because any damage multiplier is really what you want, especially in the beginning of the game. See, here we're going to aim at him, and we do about half damage on the first shot, which is pretty good damage considering this is the very beginning of the game with no items. We get a green here, and for green, since we are a single target character, we want to do anything that'll give us add control. So that's going to be your ukuleles, that's going to be your will-o'-the-wisps. Really, you could do missiles, but I find it not to work that great. See, I took out 2 enemies in one right there. Okay, so we got a white. Obviously, full on, we're gonna stack crowbars. Being the fact that you are doing 1 hit of damage. See, I got a red reload there. Being the fact that you're doing 1 hit of damage, crowbars give you bonus damage to healthy enemies. with the enemies almost always being healthy, you're doing so much more damage just off of your main shot. You see there, I did a backflip. It gives you an automatic reload. Just gonna constantly stack crowbars. See, now first shot, same kind of thing. We did almost the entire health of the golem. And there we even actually one-shot it. If you do notice any differences between our Among Us episode and this episode, these voiceovers are actually being recorded in post, which I think is working out a lot better. And if you saw, we had the ukulele jump there, which is really good. So I'm gonna take, I think 2 stacks of ukulele is a good amount. And I always try to stack the crowbars to about 10, which is a really good spot. See, and now we're not even worrying about these golems. They're just one-hit kills from any point on. What you could also do, and I do believe I start to do later, is get your crit glasses. I really don't think you need that much healing early on, as long as you're able to keep yourself mobile. So we're gonna start up our first teleporter here, and you see we get the Beetle Queen, and our first shot does 1/4 of her health. Now, past the first shot, it's really not that strong. You can see I activated my decoy there just to get some people off of me. But when it comes to fighting any additional enemies, you're gonna want to fight the additional enemies with the boss, especially when you start to get different AoE effects and on kill effects, because that's where your damage for the boss is going to come from post your first shot. See a backflip out of there, and if you actually backflip into angled surfaces, it will send you up in the air, which is a good way to get away. Now you see we got a boss item that's dropped, and what did I say the name of the game was? Mob Control. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this and we're going to grab the Molten Fang. Molten Perforator, sorry. So what this does, chance on hit, fire magma balls. So anytime you hit an enemy, there's a chance that they'll spawn 3 magma balls to deal with anything that's in the area also. So we'll move on to the second stage and continue the build. Ignore that. That wasn't meant to happen, but it did. So as you can see, right in the beginning, this is such a powerful build, especially against the weaker mobs. And being the fact that you are a sniper, you can deal with things far across the map. So if you see a greater wisp out in the distance or anything like that, take the shot. You don't need to worry about bullet fall off or anything like that, like from the commando. And if you saw back there with the I don't know what most people call them. I call them bronzongs. They're big bell enemies with the spike balls. If you saw that, that was an easy one-hit kill. Didn't even need to use the quick scope. So once you get in your groove of reloading and aiming and everything like that, the sniper is actually a very good character. The only thing, like I said, with this build is you're not going to really get that much healing early on, but I rectify that here with your equipment slot when you take the Woodland Sprite. That's going to give you healing over time, and when you activate it, it gives you a nice burst of healing. So that's going to really take care of you for the time being until you want to start building health into your actual character. See, not even worried about these anymore. The only real negative side with the ukuleles, and I kind of remedy that by taking Will-O-The-Wisp, is since you're only firing one bullet, you're only getting one chance to proc the ukulele ability, which isn't great, but it does help with mop control. So you see here I go and I actually grab the Will-O-The-Wisp just so the general area around the enemies will start to trigger that, and it's a constant on kill. It's not where you need to worry about the ukulele branching off hit. So we're just going to go around the level and collect some extra items, and then we're going to take on the boss. Now you can go and build in some additional movement if you want. Personally, I didn't because I'm used to the sniper's movements, but that's 100% up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and take an infusion just to give us some extra health. And we'll grab this chest, and there's a bigger chest right next to us. So like I said, any whites up until 10, you're kind of want to go do the crowbar. And there's our big chest, which, wait for it, we got a red. So what you're going to want to do with the red, with mob control, we're going straight for the ceremonial daggers. All that's going to do is make our job so much easier, especially with the crowbars doing so much more damage. See, I couldn't make that jump. I go up, I backflip up. You get the movement after a while. And now we get our big boy, and he's no match for anything we have. We'll go over here and start this teleporter. Now with the sniper's backflip, the same with Commando's roll and Huntress's dodge, you will negate any kind of fall damage. And I forget real quick here that this is a sniper character, and you're supposed to be a little bit further away, not directly next to the wandering vagrant. So you see, you're going to use your backflips for your mobility, you're going to use them for your quick reloads when there's a whole bunch of enemies nearby. And what I've also found as another good red item to take is the Hardlight Afterburner, because that will give you an additional 3 backflips And with those backflips, you can shoot, backflip, shoot, backflip, shoot, backflip, all with perfect reloads if you're kind of cornered. And you see the green decided it wanted to be all the way up there, so I have to do some fancy maneuvering, run over here, grab this green, which, if I remember correctly, I don't remember correctly. I don't know what we take here. We take a scythe. That's what we do. We take a scythe. Get those critical hit heals. And you know what? We're just going to do a quick cut. Alright, so we're over at Scorched Acres. It's going to be a whole lot more of the same. We're going to find a lot of enemies. We're going to kill them in pretty much one hit. Start our chain reactions. That's the main part of this build, is we're going to want to go and we're going to start those chain reactions in large groupings of people, and then the mobs just take care of themselves. Like I said, 10 crowbars, we'll call that quits, which we're making pretty good time right now, and we're pretty good on our items. Alright, so pretty much we're just going to go through and speed this up. Like I said, it's a lot of the same. We're going to go through, we're going to make sure that we get enough crowbars. We're going to go and pick up Kajaro's band, because every single main hit that you do while the bands aren't on cooldown is strong enough to actually proc them, which you see here. We got our 9th crowbar. We're gonna continue to just move through all of these enemies. It's really, like, this is a solid build. Out of every build that I've done, probably one of the most solid. Those guys suck when you don't get the first hit on them. Lunar Pod, you could take Shaped Glass. I didn't feel I had enough healing to really deal with that, but it's really your own personal preference. If you build more healing, then it's definitely a viable option to take Shaped Glass. It's going to give you a lot more damage output, and with the amount of damage that we do with our now 10 crowbars, you know we're going to be doing some pretty good damage. Now that we're done with our crowbars, you see I'm looking around. We're going to take the glasses. We're going to take our first stack of glasses. You see I contemplated taking the meat. I would recommend taking some meat at least one point. See, even without Kajaro's band and Ronald's band proccing, it still just does so much damage to these enemies. Just easy one-hit kills. Gonna summon up our boss, and we're gonna get the Grove Tender, which, solid enemy. Look at that. Easy half health off of one shot. You'll see what I'm not building right now, and honestly, you should probably take it before you start taking glasses, is the boss damage bullet penetration stuff, because that will definitely bring up your damage while you're fighting bosses. You see, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna take a leeching seed again, get some more health, and as you can see, now that we're just stacking all of these different AoE on kill effects, we're having no problem dealing with the ads. The main problem is going to be hitting your shots. I play on controller, so the one-shot kinda aiming on occasion isn't my best. Now we're going into stage 4. I'm gonna tell you now, we go to the hell level, which is great because you're guaranteed another red. All you gotta do is get that secret chest, and boom, perfect reds. Like with any build in the game, the worst thing you could probably deal with is burst damage enemies, being your Butterman, your Bronzongs, your... look at this. Boom. One shot on a stone titan. Like, what? Come on, build. Yeah, your Butterman, your Bronzongs, your Elder Lemurians, really anything that's just gonna do a lot of damage really quickly, like on one hit. And you'll see why I bring this up right now. We summon a whole pack of Elder Lemurians, and they're not friendly. You'll see that I'm taking quite a bit of damage here, but I am piercing my shots. We're doing stacks of damage, but I do begin to panic, and you can see I'm not aiming as well as I should, but everything comes through. Just keep a level head, and you're golden. So you see him walking around, you get all these bunch of different enemies. As long as you keep your distance a little bit, imps aren't really going to be that bad. See, we got another Elder Lemurian coming over here wanting to play. There you go. As long as you have the bands ready to proc, you do so much more damage. So right now I'm headed over to the chest to see how much it's going to cost to get us another red. And with any build, if you come across multiple reds, you're going to want to get yourself a 57 leaf clover. Especially if you go to build any kind of bleed, any kind of stun, any of those, you're gonna want your clover. So we head in here. I think I was like 1,000 short. No, it was like 100 short. Sorry. Look around, boom, there we go. We killed single Bronzong, one hit, everything's good to go. I'm in, easy thoughts, just go grab that 57 leaf clover. Like I said, another way you can go is the hard light afterburner, get yourself some more backflips. The more backflips, the easier you are to move around, you get that higher mobility. But with the 57 leaf clover, like I said, it re-rolls your chance of everything that you have. So right now on this build, that is our ukulele, our molten perforator. I think that's it for this build. Yeah, because ceremonial daggers is constant. The bands are on cooldown. I think that's the last pair of glasses I take, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't even try and mess with drones right now. And I'm stupid. I don't keep an eye on my money. And make this shot, so I decide to jump off like an idiot, and then I have to walk all the way back around to get that chest back. So you can see the woodland sprite is definitely a good way to go if you're not trying to build any healing items and you want to keep your items strictly to damage. Probably could have built another infusion, but you know, that's just not how it went. And when we get to the end, you'll see what happens. See, right now we're grabbing some old guillotines. As you can see, instantly kill low health elite monsters. Being the fact that we're in the insane difficulty right now, we're starting to see a couple more elites. That way, with the insane amount of damage we put out with one hit and them taking less health to kill, it's just so easy. Like 57 leaf clover and the molten perforator, just look at those fireballs raining off of the enemies, taking care of all the ads in the area. As long as you're quick enough on the trigger and quick enough on your swipes, you take everything out in the area. So now we're just gonna cut straight over to the fight. Nothing really else interesting happens here. And of course, the game decides that it's going to want to be pain, and straight off of the heels of that combat shrine, it's going to give us a whole mess of Blazing Elder Lemurians, which you're going to see this fight goes a little bit better than the one on the ground, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure I jump off here. Yeah. Boom. Almost dead. Straight off. Wonderful. I mean, the fight itself is going better, but not my ability to fight them. So we're gonna make our way back up there. The game's like, nah, you're actually gonna hit the side of the level. There we go. Like I said much earlier, the main thing you want to do in boss fights is take out the ads. You take out the ads, you start to proc your will-o'-the-wisps, your ukuleles, your fireballs, anything that'll start dealing damage to the bosses, like your ceremonial daggers that you see flying around. I don't even need to shoot anything, and it's just taking care of all these ads for me. So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna grab this green, and we're going to take, I believe, another guillotine. Yes, me? Yes, another guillotine. All right, and we'll cut it into the Sky Fortress area. All right, so we're over in Sky Meadows. I can already see the teleporter out there to the far right. Got those blue fireflies, so we're just gonna make our way over there. Like you see, I grab some meat. You take those sniper shots. You don't shy away from that. Look at that. Beautiful half-health shot. Everything just starts raining fireballs upon each other. You really want to use the enemies to take out the enemies. That's the name of this build. Actually, it's not. I've coined this build as the one-shot wonder. Trademark pending. It's not. Just being stupid and facetious. As you can see, we're just taking care of anything, and then a Butterman rolls up on us and he wants to have a talk, but I don't want to talk. I know they're called parents. I just like to call them Butterman because they look like sticks of butter. So you see, we get a whole bunch of money going. who else hates mushrooms? Like the stupid enemies, like they're so annoying. Like all they do is just damage one specific area, and they're not even like that like difficult to kill. It's just they're stupid and I hate them. So you see, we're gonna start to get the topaz brooches here, which I probably should have did earlier in the build. There's a whole bunch of different issues with me recording this gameplay, if I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. But you see, I go and I do some fancy backflip maneuvers, make it on the ledges, kill some bronzongs. It's realistically, this is the build that you want to make, but I recommend stacking higher amounts of some of the things than I did. I'm just trying to give you a general idea of what should be put on the character to make a successful build. You're going to want to do your mob damage. You're going to want to do your mob control. Definitely crowbars. 10 stacks of crowbars, perfect amount. You're going to want some meat. And like you see here, I start to build the armor piercing rounds because I'm getting ready for Mithrix. I definitely don't look through this level enough to get more chests. It's whatever. You're basically going to want to probably pick up 7 or 8 armor piercing rounds by the time you get to Mithrix, and I don't. I don't even know what started that. Probably a ceremonial dagger, but it's whatever. Topaz brooches, you definitely want to have at least 5 of them. 57 leaf clover is always a good bet. Your criticals, you're probably going to want them more towards 10. Your crowbars, 10. The thing is, I got a lot more greens than I usually do. Usually I get favored a lot more white items than I do green items. You saw me contemplate the challenge of the mountain, but then I'm like, I'm already gonna fight 2 bosses. Let's not make this more difficult. I want to at least get to Mithrix. This last stage is really where I got almost all of my white items. On this stage alone, I've gotten 6 compared to the other stages, which I've gotten 15. I'm going to take the incinerator drone just because it's the last stage. But we're going to head over, we're going to start this final boss fight, and then we're going to go over and jump onto the moon, which is always a fun time. Moon's the best. 10 out of 10 would recommend for anybody. See, we get some last final items. I continue to take bullets, which is actually what makes this boss fight a lot easier. See, we got some overloading brass contraptions. You get that first shot off before anybody's really damaged, and you can see part of their health is already taken away, and that's 100% because of the amount of guillotines I have. See, you got a couple kills. It started killing your ads. Your ads die. You get your ceremonial daggers. Everything just compounds. I almost died to a mushroom. Which, that's not how I want my run to end. We go. We grab. What do I grab here? I don't even remember what I grabbed here. Another infusion, I think. Yeah. probably way too late in the run, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But we're just gonna go and we're going to give us that. Nah, we're not gonna cut. We're at 70%. We're gonna speed through the lead up part to Mithrix, so we'll just let this go. I'll use this time to plug some stuff. Thank you everybody who's come out to support the YouTube channel so far. It means a lot to me, and I know we're not super big or anything like that, but I like the community that I built here so far, and I'm really liking the atmosphere a lot better than I was on Twitch. That being said, it's moon time. So we're gonna go and give this a speed through. Alright, so we're speeding through. Everything's going good. We're headed on our way to fight Mithrix, big granddaddy of all bad boy bosses. And right here, right at that shot, I realized something. I am in no way ready for this fight. I don't have enough jumps to get where I need to go. You can see I can't aim up high enough to get the enemies, and even if I do, they're still doing a lot of damage to me. It just became abundantly clear as I was running my way to Mithrix that I was not at all prepared. It might have taken me a little bit too long. I usually play with an additional artifact or two on. I like to put on where the enemies drop the items instead of just finding the chest. And then I'll also double the enemy spawns and give them half health. That being said, it generates a lot more items. So if you want to play that way, that's something else you can do. So yeah, you just see I'm doing damage. It's the Kajaro's band, it's the crowbars, everything like that is just working really well in junction with each other. It's just I don't have the damage or the healing to really deal with anything that I'm about to walk into. And I do fairly well for the amount of health that I have and everything like that. See, we're gonna walk into Mithrix here. And you know, the fight goes fairly well considering I don't have as many items as I should. Look, first shot gives you just about half health. Dodge through here. A lot of where your damage is going to be coming from is the Kajaro's band and Runald's band. You see, if I can keep him in one spot while I land that shot, use the decoy, because look, bam, another like quarter of his health down. He just gets constantly ticked. Everything's fine. We're doing fairly well. Dodging his main attacks. I can 100% guarantee I would not have made it through third phase. Without a doubt in my mind, no way making it through third phase. Right there is what just got me killed. That unnecessary backflip. But it is what it is. It's definitely a viable build. Everything works. Like I said, you're going to want your ad control. You're going to want your ukuleles, will-o'-the-wisp, ceremonial daggers. You definitely need more topaz brooches. Definitely need more glasses. Some more fresh meat to keep yourself healed. But overall, very good build. Just didn't have enough of the items to get myself through Mithrix. That being said, I just want to thank everybody for watching episode 2 of Build Theory. on the Sniper from Risk of Rain 1, a modded character available through the R2 Modman mod manager. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and if you're inclined, turn on the notifications. I do live streams at least twice a week, and I'm trying to put out a video a week. Thank you, everybody. I super appreciate you stopping by, and have a wonderful night.